The Haunting of Hollow Creek, Chapter 6, Unveiling the Truth. The next few days passed in a blur for Becker and Luna as they dealt with the aftermath of their encounter with Winston Wixxwood. The authorities were skeptical of their story, but the evidence in the mansion and the mine was undeniable. The town of Hollow Creek was finally free of the spirit that had haunted it for so long. Aurora recovered quickly, and though she had no memory of her ordeal, she was grateful to Becker and Luna for saving her. As the town began to heal, Becker found himself restless, unable to shake the feeling that there was more to uncover. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Becker sat on his porch sipping a cup of coffee. His thoughts were interrupted by a knock on the door. It was Luna, holding a stack of papers. "I've been going through more of the Wixxwood family history," she said, her eyes bright with excitement. "I think I found something important." Becker invited her in, and they spread the papers out on the kitchen table. Luna pointed to an old yellow document. "This is a deed to a piece of land just outside of town. It belonged to Reginald Wixxwood, but it's never been mentioned in any of the records we've found." "What do you think it means?" Becker asked, leaning forward. "I'm not sure, but I think it's worth investigating," Luna replied. "There might be something there that explains why the Wixxwood family got involved in dark magic in the first place." Following morning, Becker and Luna drove to the location indicated on the deed. It was a remote area, overgrown with trees and thick underbrush. They parked the car and hiked through the dense forest, guided by the coordinates on the document. After what felt like hours of searching, they stumbled upon the remnants of an old stone building, half buried in the undergrowth. It looked like a small chapel, its walls covered in moss and ivy. "This must be it," Luna said, her voice hushed with awe. They carefully approached the cabin, pushing open the creaking door. Inside, the air was stale and filled with the smell of decay. Dust motes floated in the beams of sunlight that filtered through the gaps in the walls. The cabin was small, with a single room containing a rickety table, a few chairs, and an old iron stove. Becker began to search the room, examining the furniture and floorboards for any hidden compartment. Luna rifled through the remaining items on the shelves, finding little more than old rusted tools and broken pottery. Just as they were about to give up, Becker noticed something odd about the floorboards in one corner of the room. "These boards look different," he said, crouching down to inspect them. "Think there's something under here." Luna joined him, and together they pried up the loose floorboards. Beneath them, they found a small hidden compartment. Inside was a metal box covered in dust and cobwebs. Becker carefully lifted it out and placed it on the table. With a sense of anticipation, they opened the box. Inside, they found a collection of old documents, photographs, and a leather-bound journal. Luna picked up the journal and began to read, her eyes widening as she skimmed the pages. "This journal belonged to Reginald Wixxwood," she said, her voice filled with awe. "It details his experiments with dark magic and the rituals he performed." Becker leaned over to read with her, the words on the pages revealing a chilling tale. Reginald had discovered an ancient text that spoke of summoning spirits to gain power and wealth. Desperate to save his family's dwindling fortune, he had performed the ritual that ultimately bound the spirit to the mansion. But there was more. The journal also spoke of a hidden treasure, buried somewhere on the property, that Reginald believed would bring unimaginable wealth to whoever found it. The location of the treasure was described in a series of cryptic clues and riddles. "This could be why Winston was so obsessed," Becker said, his mind racing. "He must have been trying to find the treasure, hoping it would give him the power he sought." Luna nodded. "But it also means there might be others looking for it. We need to solve these clues before someone else does." They spent the rest of the day deciphering the riddles and following the clues laid out in the journal. Each step took them deeper into the history of the Wixxwood family and the dark secrets they had tried to hide. The final clue led them to a secluded spot near the cabin, where an ancient oak tree stood, its gnarled roots twisting into the earth. Using the descriptions in the journal, they dug at the base of the tree. After what felt like hours, their shovels struck something solid. With renewed energy, they unearthed a small, ornately carved chest. Inside, they found a collection of gold coins, jewels, and ancient artifacts, all glittering in the fading light of the setting sun. "We did it," Luna said, her voice filled with wonder. "We found the Wixxwood treasure." Becker smiled, but his expression was somber. "We need to make sure this stays out of the wrong hands. This treasure has caused enough pain and suffering." They carefully reburied the chest, marking the spot so they could return later with proper authorities. As they made their way back to the car, Becker and Luna felt a sense of closure. The dark legacy of the Wixxwood family had finally been uncovered. The town of Hollow Creek could begin to heal. But as they left the clearing, neither of them noticed the shadowy figure watching them from the edge of the forest, its eyes glinting with malevolent intent.